welcome to 24 Days of Comfort, a casual tea time check-in every day until Christmas, talking books, mental health, hobbies, whatever else comes up. The holidays can be a stressful time, so I'm just here to gently nudge you towards some relaxation, some you time, and just cozy vibes. I'm Fleur, and I'm very happy that you're here. Thank you so much for your time. Before we start today's video, I want to do a tiny cozy check-in. So when you're ready, let's run through these. Are you comfortable? Could you get 5% more comfortable? Maybe moving around, maybe something's pressing into your back or your legs, just seeing that you're comfy. Then oxygen. We're going to take a deep breath together. Whenever you're ready, we're going to do a deep inhale through the nose and a sigh through the mouth. So in through the nose, hold, and exhale with a sigh. So nice. Sometimes I forget to breathe when I'm really stressed, so this is a good reminder to myself as well. Then we're gonna do zero tension, so unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, relax your spine, your hips, your legs, your feet, releasing tension in your muscles. You could even bring tension to your muscles if you want to, squeezing your fists, your shoulders, your legs, holding tension, and then on an inhale, really gathering, and on an exhale, letting everything go. Really helps the body relax. And then last but not least, you time. This is your you time, so is there anything that you need? Maybe you want to put your phone on do not disturb, grab a tea, make the time for it, grab a blanket, maybe journal in the meantime, or grab a coloring book, or whatever else you need. This is your time. And now that we're here, hi, welcome to today's check-in. The tea that I'm drinking today is actually day 7 tea, even though it's day 6. But the day 6 tea is called Supreme Matcha Green. This is a matcha green tea, but I'm currently not drinking green tea or any tea with caffeine in it, or like the tea caffeine. I don't know how you call it in English, but I can't have this. So I decided to be bold and grab day 7 tea, which is, let me look up the name. This is Nighttime Berry, and it is a caressing potion of berries, Enchina, Echinacea, and chamomile. And this is like a nighttime tea. We're gonna do a taste test. It's really good. I'm very pleasantly surprised by this. I think it's a little bit more tart than I would have expected. And that's probably the angina and angina. How do you say it in English? Anyway, I love chamomile. If you've watched these other videos, then you know what I'm about to say. But so I'm trying a tea from the tea calendar. I have an advent calendar here with the puka teas. And I feel like there's a theme going on with all the flavors. And once again, I'm really thinking it because now there's chamomile. And day 5, where were you? Okay, no, it was not day 5. Day 2 had chamomile in it. But it is coming back. So we're getting a lot of returning flavors. And I really like that. I think that that's very sweet. So yeah, we're just changing up the pace here with me doing a day 7 tea. But tomorrow I'll just drink a replacement tea, which will be fine. I hope you're okay with that. Behind every number on the teas is also a quote. So on day 6 and 7 we have, amid the hustle and bustle, pause with nature's ingredients. We're doing that right now, crazy. And 7 is, unwind and relax with an organic blend that delivers nature's gifts. Are all of these going to be about the tea and the herbs and stuff? We're gonna see. Okay, so what I wanted to do today was talk to you about my November favorites. I sometimes do favorite videos on my ASMR channel, monthly favorites, and I try to do them in a bit of a more mindful way instead of a more material way, so I wrote down some favorites from November and I'm gonna talk you through them. This is a great moment if you want to reflect along. You can write down these same key points and then maybe write down your own favorites of the month. The first favorite is an action. I wrote one down that was in the beginning of October, but it was very memorable, so I just wanted to commemorate it in a video because I don't think that I've talked about it. But I started therapy at the beginning of October or like last week of September, and then when I had my first real EMDR session, the day after that I treated myself to a spa day, and it was very expensive, very decadent, but it's the biggest gift I've given to myself. That was an experience, and so I've been on vacation on my own, like traveled on my own, but this was so intentionally a gift to myself and to celebrate that I took the step toward therapy. We're really getting in there immediately. But I was just so proud of myself and I wanted to celebrate that. So I took myself to the spa, which was also quite scary because in the Netherlands here, spas, you go naked or you go on days where you wear a bathing suit. And so I was very aware of the fact that I wasn't wearing clothes, where when I went with a friend or my mom or something, you just kind of forget. But now that I was alone, I was very conscious. But I had the most relaxing time. I went in the morning and it was like misty out, but the sun was rising. And so there was like the damp of all the tubs, the hot tubs and stuff outside. And I was in a hot tub by myself. And I went into saunas and I had lunch on my own and just walking around in a robe all day, like all the sensory bliss. So I wanted to mention that as a favorite because all of November I've still been thinking about that a lot. And another favorite action is that I stopped eating gluten this month and my tummy is really liking it. So I had to put it on the list. Also, I've done a little bit of exposure therapy in my fear of rejection. I talked about this in a previous video. I think it was day 3. And there are multiple moments this month where that was a theme and that I really actively choose to put myself out there and face my fear of getting rejected. And I think that that is really good for me. So these are some favorite actions of mine. Another favorite action could be thinking about this concept because I'm having a lot of fun making these videos. So there's a lot. Like the more I think about it, there are more things to mention, but that's the fun part about favorite lists. Favorite memory. They kind of tie in together, I guess, but about the memory specifically. I went on a first date that was really fun and was a really fun memory. You know, I've been on a couple first dates in my life, but this was definitely one where I felt super comfortable immediately. I was very interested. This person lived a very different life than me, so there was a lot that I learned, and yeah, it was just a very fun experience. I had a movie night with the girls, which had been a while since we'd seen each other, and the visit was relatively short. But it was just nice to spend time together again, the 4 of us, and we were watching High School Musical 2. I didn't make it all the way through the movie before I had to catch the train home, but we've been trying to rewatch the movies together because we grew up watching them. We've known each other since we were born and 4 years old. Like we knew each other since elementary school. We've been in each other's lives for a long time, so it's fun to revisit this iconic movie series together. So that was fun, and we made lentil soup and it was great, and just had a great time. Yeah, I think that those are just fun moments. I liked the days where it was chilly out but the sun was shining. I feel like those are just really bright, fun days because October and most of November it's been a bit gloomy, we're heading into fall, winter time. So having sunny days in November is such bliss. So I really enjoyed those days as well. Favorite foods of the month. It was definitely a soup month for me. I feel like I've talked about soup multiple times now in these videos, which I'm not embarrassed about, nor am I considering talking about it less. I love soup, and I liked the lentil soup that me and my friends made a lot, and I also like pumpkin soups. Just like it's cozy food, it's comfort food. You do need to snack with the soup. Like you can't just eat the soup. In my opinion, you need something else. I need texture. I need something crunchy, but I like that because you can just kind of pick and choose what snacks you want with it and kind of make a snack platter or whatever. I love it. Girl dinner. And what else did I put on there? Poke bowls. I always will love them, but at work we eat them every week when we have a meeting. And then afterwards we have dinner together, and it's just a fun moment. So I think the memory now around poke bowls for me has changed, and it's a really fun memory. So I've been loving poke bowls. They're also great for lunch, especially if you aren't eating gluten and it's kind of difficult to figure out what to eat. I always love a poke bowl. And also, if you're eating with other people and you don't know what to eat and it's difficult, you can always toss ingredients in there that everyone can have and you can pick and choose what you want. I love it. Then for drink, I wrote down mango orange, but I mean the Cool Best Mango Dream orange juice. It's like orange, apple, and then a little bit of mango. Something about it is just so good. I always will love an orange mango juice, but this specific one, for some reason, I just love it. So it's a favorite of the month, for sure. Then I did write movie, but I don't have a movie. I haven't been watching a lot of movies this year at all, which is crazy, because I do love movies. I haven't even watched Wicked, but I know the whole soundtrack pretty much, and I've watched all the interviews. I don't know if any of you guys can relate, but the algorithm on YouTube keeps feeding me interviews, and I love Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande live performances. They are so good. So I'm just going to mention it here because it has been a favorite to watch all those interviews and to watch the live performances. Very good. That does bring me into my next favorite, which is songs. Currently, my favorite songs are Say Yes by Elliott Smith. I've been listening to Elliott Smith for the past 6 months, maybe in 4 to 6 months. I've been really listening to his music a lot, and I'm loving Say Yes at the moment. I also love Ordinary People and Restless Little Heart by The Favors, Claudia Sulewski's fiance Phineas. I don't know, I just keep thinking about him as Claudia Sulewski's fiance. If you watch YouTube videos and you watch vloggers, you probably know Claudia, her fiance, and Ash made an album together, and it's really good. And I specifically love Restless Little Heart and Ordinary People because it has that old-timey feeling. They are short, they're sweet, and they feel so timeless. And especially this time of year when it's dark out and people already have their Christmas lights up, it's just the perfect song. I love it. It's very Nat King Cole, Etta James, that kind of stuff. I've also really been loving House Tour by Sabrina Carpenter because it is great. I think that her new album is so funny, and yeah, it's a hit. I also have been listening to Ruin the Friendship by Taylor Swift. I will say this is one of my least favorite albums by her, and there's no need for her to get slandered for making this album, I will say. It's just a little bit too poppy for me. I always prefer the more folky country Taylor songs. So Evermore and Folklore will still be my favorites. I had a really strong bond with Midnights for some reason, but I'm not really feeling it this album. Definitely not. But Ruin the Friendship, I'm liking. I've been listening to it, so I put it in my list. And then also anything from the album Who's the Clown by Audrey Hobart. I think that this album is so good. She's such a fucking amazing songwriter. She's so creative. A lot of her songs that she's written, I'm like, I wish that I could write like that. Her storytelling is great. And yeah, her whole vibe is just, I like her creative vision a lot. So a favorite. Then purchases. I recently switched this month to red bed sheets. I had one darker color, which is like an orange terracotta bed sheets color set. And now I got a red, and I love it, especially for the holidays, but also having a brighter, darker color in the room feels really good. I had pastels before then, but this wall, if you've been around, you know, but this wall was dark blue, and so I had pretty neutral light colors, and now I can kind of play around with the color of the accessories in my room. Not that bed sheets are an accessory, but I hope that you know what I mean. It's just easier to switch that around, and I really like it. Then a favorite quote or something that someone said to me. I recently watched Adia ASMR's video. She does tarot readings, and I always think that they're really fun to watch. Just because she's very kind in her words, and even if you aren't really connecting to what she's saying, it's still very relaxing to watch. And I love learning about how people interpret tarot, and I also learn from that, so that's great. And I was watching her latest video, and so it's not a quote like someone said to me, but it's a quote that did stick with me, and she said something about not wanting to self-abandon for the sake of connection, but also not self-protect at the cost of connection. I don't know if I phrased that exactly right, but that really stuck with me, and I've been thinking about that concept a lot. Also in video 3, I think that I mentioned this quote even, or I just discussed the concept, but with the topic of fear of rejection and everything, sometimes also in friendship, could be romantic relationship, could be in work decisions or whatever, self-protection versus self-abandonment is a balance to keep, I guess. And you don't want to lose out on connection just because you're self-protecting too much, but you also don't want to abandon yourself just to connect with someone or something. You know, does that make sense? I just thought that that was a really beautiful quote, I guess. And then a favorite piece of advice. Not journaling first thing in the morning might help you to not feel so overwhelmed starting your day. This is something that my therapist taught me. I've been talking about her quite a lot in this video. Shout out, love you, professionally. Yeah, I mentioned this in a vlog as well, but I used to journal every day, every morning, first thing when I woke up, brain dump, morning pages. The book, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron taught me that, and it's just been sticking with me. Been journaling for as long as I can remember, keeping a diary, and I've been doing it every day first thing in the morning, and in periods of a lot of stress and feeling depressed and overwhelmed and a lot going on. Of course, it's already going on in my head, so there's a lot of overthinking happening already. But it is nice to not give too much attention to it first thing in the morning, which might make sense to so many people, but for someone who journaled every morning for years, I just didn't notice it because it was so ingrained into my routines that it was just a part of my daily habits. And I started changing that around and not journaling first thing in the morning, and lo and behold, I feel a little bit less overwhelmed the moment I wake up. So that's been a favorite piece of advice for this month because it does really seem to work. I am now figuring out when I want to implement journaling into my day and having a moment of reflection, because if I do it right before bed, it doesn't work because I'm just too tired and then I fall asleep overwhelmed. So I'm trying to find the time that works for me. If you journal, let me know when you do it. I mean journaling as in keeping a diary, talking about your feelings, not like the scrapbooky journaling, which I also love, but it feels different. I would love to know when you do it and what works for you, because I'm looking around to find what works, and advice in that is welcome. So definitely let me know. I think a favorite is also that tea calendar, because honestly, so far it's been a good experience. Which brings me to rating this tea. I'm gonna say a 7. I was hoping that this was going to be an 8 because it smells like it, but then I don't like the angina too much. I think it holds back the flavor a little bit. I'm also never really the biggest fan of a berry tea, but in this one I do really like it. I just would have hoped that it had a little bit more oomph to it. I don't know how else to describe it, but I thought this was going to be an 8. This is going to be the favorite one, but it is actually not. I think I rated the chamomile vanilla And Manuka honey, the highest so far, that was day 2. It's like a 7.5, I think. I don't remember, but I'll look it up. A solid 7. So far, all the teas have been solid. It's been a good experience, but it's just, I don't know. I wonder if we're going to find a real standout tea that's going to blow my mind. But anyway, I'm going to go finish this. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you're taking good care of yourself and relaxing. And let me know what some of your favorites were for this month. Here's a forehead kiss. And I will gladly see you tomorrow. Bye!